So I took my friend Brianna with me on my experience to Meyer. She actually works at this children's center in Midtown.
Our like 92 exactly percent of our clientele are Medicaid individuals or families on Medicaid. So you can imagine they're all low income, and it's pretty normal for like kiddos and their parents or families to not have transportation to even get to TCC and receive services. So like we're used to giving out bus cards on the daily, just so that they can make it to their appointments. And it's pretty common that most of our families are in the SER system with MDHS. So it's pretty common that, you know, I work with low-income families. So what Rasha went through is something they all go through, and that's their normal.
From my house to the closest bus station was approximately like an 8-minute walk-ish. And it was really cold that day, but it wasn't too bad. We were able to get to the bus station. There was a bunch of snow where the bus station was, and it was just a sign. There wasn't any covering or anything, so we were kind of treading in the snow a bit. But the bus was actually on time. I looked at both Google Maps and the bus app, and actually the Google Maps was telling me that it was coming approximately 5 minutes earlier than the bus app was telling me. So we actually got there according to the Google apps, just to Google Maps, just in case. And it actually did come at the exact time Google Maps said it would. And I had to do the shopping. And it was kind of difficult for me because it was only a $40 spending limit for an individual for a week. So I had to buy all my breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day with just that $40. And I had Brianna help me, track everything that I was buying and the prices while I was putting things in the cart. And I had to think about things where, let's say, for example, I got chicken, and so I just made a bunch of chicken for the week, and I was able to put it in different meals. So I was able to put it like in my salad or a sandwich or my pasta, my pizza.
I could tell Rasha being frustrated as more and more items were being piled up in the cart because she realized she had to compromise some items. But I mean, it was, I would say like 60% of what Rasha decided to get was in one food group. And then like, no more, like 75% was in one food group, which would be like carbohydrates. And then, and that was because it's readily available and cheap. But when we got into like fresh produce, she got like 3 items. And when I say 3 items, I mean like 1 bell pepper, 1 tomato, 3 bananas. I'm pretty sure I covered it all. So most of what she got was pre-packaged, so it's obviously not the healthiest food, but it was the cheapest, and it's what she thought she could afford, and what she had planned for the week.
Like, fresh food was not cheap, so it was very confusing to me how people are able to stay healthy and buy fresh ingredients if they can't even afford it. And honestly, it was difficult for me to get, and because coming from my background, I am Palestinian, I am Muslim. Food is a huge thing in our culture, and it brings us all together. So we do spend a lot of money on like chicken and lamb and rice and grape leaves, so many of these dishes, and a lot of these dishes require fresh ingredients, and not to be able to afford those ingredients to buy that kind of food, almost you lose a sense of who you are. So it was really difficult for me to have to eat all these things which I was not used to eating. So I do wonder how people that come from different backgrounds are able to eat the food, their traditional food. Because for me, I wasn't able to do that. And it was really interesting. Food I got, and then it got up to $40 and like 30 cents. And then we actually missed the bus because there's only 1 bus per hour that goes westbound, as opposed to them going eastbound towards Detroit. So we missed the one that was going westbound, so we had to wait an hour. We waited inside Meyer, thankfully. And then once the bus was almost there, we left Meyer, crossed the street to get to the bus stop. And we got there, and again, it was cold. There was a lot of snow. We put all the food in 1 gym bag and like a separate separate mesh bag. and it was really heavy too. Thankfully, it was very cold. We finally got to the bus stop near my house, but they dropped us off across the other side of Northwestern, so we had to cross Northwestern to get back to where I lived. And once they dropped us off and I had to walk, the bag was really heavy. My shoulder was killing me, and I couldn't even feel my fingers anymore. There was snow everywhere. It was not a great time. It was really exhausting. After I put everything away, I didn't want to do anything. We sat on the couch and I got a blanket, and because of how cold I was, I just put a blanket around me and I was just watching TV because I couldn't even move. So it's definitely something, it's been an eye-opener, that's for sure.